Hey, Steve Perry here with another e-cigarette review. We're doing e-liquids this time, and we're doing e-liquids from Halo. And even if you've already got a Halo flavor that you like, just to start this up, before we get to the liquids, you gotta try a sampler, because it comes in a nice tin like this. And the great thing about this tin is it'll have 6 bottles in it, but it's got 7 little holes in there. If you see, I've got the Vivi Nova, fits in there perfectly. Screw tank fits in there perfectly. You'll have to take the drip tip off a screw tank and off your large dual coil tanks. They just fit right down in there and they sit perfectly. Other than the Vivi Nova, I had a connector on the bottom of that one. They won't fall out, you know. So if you're a trucker like myself, I had the biggest problem figuring out where I was going to put all of these dual coil tanks. Primarily is what I use, but Vivi Novas with juice in them. The dual coil tank is not a big a deal, except for it'll get scuffed up if it's rolling around the truck, but the Vivi Novas will leak out. You keep them upright, they don't leak, and this is a perfect thing. And even if you're around the house, you can even stick a mod in there, like a Z-Max, a Vamo, probably a Pro Vari. I don't have one, so I don't know. But you can stick it in there, and it's a perfect size little hole down in there, and it's just styrofoam around it, so it's not going to scratch up your tanks and mods. And it just makes a perfect holder for your dual coil tanks, your Vivi Novas, and your mods. And that is, they make a menthol sample kit and a regular sample kit, but that is a great feature. Now, when you order the full-size bottles, it's going to come in a glass bottle just like this with a dropper top. The blue color, the tint, keeps the light out, which keeps the light from causing the nicotine to break down in the juice, and of course keep it in a cool, dry place. They tell you don't refrigerate it, but I'm going to tell you this. Being in the truck, it can get up to like 100 degrees in here in the summertime while you're parked inside eating, doing whatever. It can get up to 100 degrees in the truck, and if you just leave your liquids out at room temperature, they can dissolve. So what I try to do, not dissolve, break down. What I try to do is keep them in the fridge until about a week before I'm going to need them. Then I take the bottle out. When I'm storing them in the truck for use, I keep them in a wooden box to try to keep the light out of them, keep them a little cooler. Trucking has its own challenges, but this is about Halo e-liquid and not driving a truck. What I got here, let's see, what am I going to do? First one I'm going to do is in my Z-Max and a dual coil tank, and this is Shamrock. Now, Shamrock is a flavor I didn't know. I wanted to try it, but I didn't know if I was going to like it. I'm more into the tobacco flavors, which makes Halo perfect for me. Most of their flavors are tobacco-based. But this one here is a mint chocolate. If you want to know what it tastes like, you can try it before you buy it by going down to your local store and buying an Andes mint, folks. This is spot on to those little brown and green, the chocolate Andes mint with the green in the middle. This Shamrock tastes almost exactly like that. And I got to tell you, I've always kept the menthol. Usually I've got some V2 cartridges of menthol that I keep around the truck, and I got an adapter that I put on an Ego. When I get an urge for menthol, I just screw one of those on, vape menthol for a little bit, whatever. I'm not that into menthol that I want to buy big bottles of it, but I do want to have some around because I like to use it occasionally. And this isn't, I don't want to call this menthol because I don't think there's menthol in it. It's mint. It's chocolate and mint. And it's just like the Andes mints. I mean, it is spot on. A really delicious flavor, and I haven't vaped menthol since I got it. I actually now keep a tank full of Shamrock and keep it around the truck so that I've got it instead of my menthol. Now, second flavor we're going to try, let me screw this off of here, grab the Vamo, is Captain Jack. This is the first Halo flavor I tried. I was at Indie Vapor Shop. I said I want to try Halo. Captain Jack looked interesting to me. Earlier this week I put up a picture of me in Kenly, North Carolina at the Kenly truck stop with Captain Jack, vaping Captain Jack. And this is a delicious and confusing e-liquid. I love this juice. It's not my all-day vape, but it's something that I don't want to be without either. It's a tobacco flavor, maybe like a cigar more than a cigarette though. But it's got a spiciness to it. It's got almost a hint of like cocoa, and I don't mean like sweet hot cocoa or anything like that. Almost like a dark kind of bitter cocoa, but there's a sweetness coming in from somewhere in here. I don't know if there's a fruit flavor in it. I really like, this is one of the few flavors I've ever vaped, and I said I have no idea what the base is for this. I couldn't even try to recreate it. But man, this is a good e-liquid. Basically, I'm going to get to my all-day vape next, which is my all-day vape. It's not just something, this isn't just for the purpose of the review. I also put up a picture of my order, and those of you who are familiar with Prime liquids can probably tell there's 4 bottles of Prime in that order, because this is what I vape all day. Prime, dual coil cardo. These liquids have excellent flavor production. I think Prime, either Prime or Torque, maybe Torque has the strongest throat hit. Torque was originally my all-day vape. It's what I went to originally, and after doing it for a little while, I decided I like Prime better. Torque is a very good liquid as well. This Prime is just such a smooth tobacco flavor. This is the most, out of all the e-liquids I've tried, and I don't mean just all the Halo, out of all the e-liquids I've tried, Prime is the truest tobacco flavor that I've tried. It's a very smooth flavor. It would be reminiscent of a Marlboro or a Winston, more towards the Marlboro, I think, than the Winston. But for those of you who are trying to go, you've been smoking and you're starting to use electronic cigarettes and you'd like more of that smoker taste to it, Prime is the way to go to me. I mean, it's a very good flavor. My girlfriend, who's not into the tobacco flavors as much as I am, she also likes the Prime. I get a bottle for her when I order. Very good liquid. This is now my all-day vape. But all of these liquids have good throat hit. I think Prime, either Prime or Torque, has the best throat hit of them all. Captain Jack, if you crank it up to where you're almost burning it, that's got a good throat hit too. The throat hit seems to stay the same at different levels, and that surprised me. All of these liquids that I get are at 24 milligrams of nicotine. I know a lot of people say that affects the throat hit. Some people say it doesn't. But just for the record, I am vaping at 24 milligrams of nicotine. All their liquids, great vapor production, and they don't list the PG-VG ratio, so your guess is as good as mine. I will say that when I make liquids myself, I make them at 70-30, and this seems to be a little bit thinner, so it might be an 80-20, I'm not sure. But it produces very good vapor, so it's got to have some VG in it. It's got very good throat hits, so it's got a lot of PG in it. It carries flavor very well. The flavors are full. The only flavor that I tried that I absolutely did not like and would not vape again is a Cafe Mocha. The Tribeca that everybody raves about, not a fan, a little sweet for me. I don't like it too sweet. I'm a guy who drinks my coffee with no sugar, unsweetened iced tea. If you're into the sweet stuff, you'll probably like the Tribeca. But these are just the 3 flavors that I order all the time. These are what I vape the most. And yes, I've ordered liquids from other places and still do from time to time. But these are my steady, my all-day vape is Prime. Every now and again, I'll rotate Captain Jack in and vape that for a couple days. And I keep some Shamrock around for a menthol replacement. Now, in my latest order, I got a flavor of the new menthol that they're coming out with. And if it's good enough, we'll do another video for that. But in the meantime, Halo e-liquids, make sure you get a sample kit. Even if you already got flavors you like, if you never got a sample kit, you got to get one and get one of these tins, especially if you're a trucker or a person who, you know, carries different tanks around with you in your car and they're rolling all over the place and it's out of control. With these, even with the screw tank, as long as you take the drip tips off, which the reason why I'm not is this screw tank, the drip tip's permanently stuck on, and I don't even use it anymore. I just still have it. But there you have it. The Halo Purity Tester Tin is perfect to keep your little dual coil tanks, your Vivi Novas, anything like that. And even, like I said, if you're using it at your desk and you don't need a lid on it, you can stick a mod in there and it keeps the mod upright, ready to go. Steve Perry, Halo E-Liquids, you gotta check them out.